Hello and welcome to Legends of DC's Flashpoint podcast. This week we are coming to you live from the Earth 19 Travelers Bureau, and it's pretty empty here because they're building a big wall. It's huge, and we're going to make Earth 19 pay for it. But anyway, we're here to talk about the episode Dead or Alive. It's me, Phil. Tyler's here.
Hey.
And Zach, who's
Healthier.
ogling Gypsy right now.
Well, actually, being the host of the Headless podcast, fans of the show might recognize her from last season of Sleepy Hollow.
Who did she play?
She played an FBI agent that was brought into the fold towards the end of the season, and I liked her. She was good in that, and of course, was good in this too. So I recognized the name as soon as it said so in the credit.
That's cool. I like that. The very interesting intro of this episode, I was like, Maybe they're setting up Inner Gang. And then I was like, wait a minute, this makes no sense. And
Electric Gang?
Yeah,
that's because
I saw people, I didn't even recognize.
All in his head.
I didn't even know the Electric Gang. I saw people online talking. I guess they showed it. They were in one issue of a Barry Allen comic like decades ago.
That explains why I couldn't find anything. Every time I typed in Electric Gang, DC Comics, I kept getting the Royal Flush Gang.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
cool.
Apparently HR does his shopping at the Ratchet and Clank Armory. Tell me it doesn't look like that. I'm pretty sure, actually, there is a weapon called a Vortex Cannon in Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, maybe that's a call.
I'm going to type in the double check, but I'm pretty sure.
I was just like, what does he think he's in Die Hard or something? In the beginning, he's like, I have a vortex cannon. Ho ho ho.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, now you lost me.
Yep,
I was like,
there's a weapon in Ratchet and Clank called it's the vortex cannon.
I was like, he's gonna storm Nakatomi Tower or something.
Yeah.
Is he gonna make two half decent sequels and at least 4 crappy ones?
But I don't know. I have this big theory about HR, and it kind of goes into, I don't think he's as stupid as he claims to be, because he was even though it was illegal to leave Earth 19, he's beaming back chapters of his book.
Yeah. Well, he said she's beaming across the multiverse, but still, obviously Earth 19 would have picked up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's something. There was little things that Gypsy said that made me think he's guilty for maybe more than what just the travel.
Oh, I think he's a master criminal. I mean, this reminds me of there was like a 2-issue arc in Wally West book. It's Flash 67, 68, yeah. And a bounty hunter comes back looking for someone to take them back. And guess who it was? She had a gun just like Gypsy had to tag them so they could track them. And guess who they came back to get?
Who?
Abracadabra.
Mm-hmm.
Take them back to the 64th
and
century.
Phil, you must have been like clapping happily when he said, "I learned this trick from a magician friend."
Mm-hmm. I'm like, who, yourself?
I still think, what if Abra is his partner? Like, how like sometimes they'll do something with the characters where they have like two versions of the character or something like that.
The Weather Wizard brothers.
Yeah. And how can you be fast enough to run through reality and time, but you're not fast enough to catch a vehicle with guys with guns?
Well, along that note is how later in the episode, how is Gypsy able to get the drop on Barry as he's running toward her?
Practice. Lots of practice.
How do you get the turn against her?
And do anyone else notice that in that scene after the guns, when they cut to Star Labs, all of a sudden it's daytime? Like it was night?
They went to Denny's for an early breakfast and they came back. It was morning.
Well, you could just say that time passed in between the scenes. Although when they took down the car, I still wasn't completely sure what Barry's like. I have a plan, and then he spins around a little, and Wally takes. I'm like, okay, just whatever it was, it worked.
Hey, it worked. Wally was surrounded by cheerleaders. It worked.
Yeah, like that wasn't awkward either. A bunch of cheerleaders cheering Kid Flash.
Ah!
And Wally was like, yeah.
I was funny that they were called the Cougars. I kept thinking there was going to be a bunch of older cheerleaders like, hey, Kid Flash.
I just like when he's like, I was a good boy. Wally was getting all of it, the credit. Iris is like, mm-hmm.
Here's the thing about that. I get the idea that they're excited about the new hero, but I really doubt they would just... It's not like the last time when Flash ran, like he left the scene. He was right there.
I know. I was
taking pictures.
I know. I was like, you'd really ignore Flash? It's like...
Actually, it reminds me of Powerless when she's like, oh my god, you see that? They're like, yeah.
Don't bring that show up, please.
I don't know, but it also makes me think of Jurassic Park, how they made jokes that like kids today would be desensitized by dinosaurs, which is just bull.
No.
I have to mention Powerless later on my podcast, but
okay,
for different reasons.
I did like Joe being proud of like his Flash boys.
Mm-hmm.
Papa Joe.
Joe. Julian is trying. He's trying.
Dude, I love Julian. Some of his comments, like it's harsh, but at the same time, you're like, yeah, because Caitlin's even like, yeah.
Well, I kind of like the idea that like they have someone on the team who's like, because you need someone like, because some of the points he makes, it's like when you have the team is all friends, they're always going to agree with each other. But when you have one guy who's not their friend, he's going to be like, he's just going to raise his hand and go, I'm calling bull on that one.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is when he says that really like about Gypsy. She must have been having an off day, and everyone just looks at me and just goes, "What?"
I like all of Cisco's remarks to Gypsy. He's like, gorgeous.
I love him in this. Because you know what's funny? I would totally do that if I was a superhero. I'd be like, hey, once you're done robbing the bank, you want to get a coffee?
No, you're not taking HR. Would you like to talk about this over drinks, dinner? But Gypsy has the same powers as Cisco. I'm like, well, that's not comic book. You know.
What if Gypsy was Cisco's doppelganger on the other Earth? It was a woman instead of a man. Dun.
I can buy that. But you know, one thing, and I've said this before. It's like, you could do that. It's like, yes, he could if he ever practiced.
Well, again, it's that whole thing. Oh, I'm scared of practicing. I don't want to go evil.
I thought we passed that.
You think, but you know.
Or we passed that, and then we have Flashpoint and.
I get it. In this altered. And here's another thing. When Barry's investigating the scene. I just realized that. Do you ever notice that half the time in the show, his CSI investigation is just him walking around looking at the crime scene and talking to Joe?
No.
Yes. Do you remember in the pilot when like he got down and like they did the really cool thing where like you could see his brain thinking as he was measuring the footprint and looking at everything like and just analyzing the scene? Yeah, I miss good old real CSI Barry.
Even if they just did a scene every week, him just super speeding, blurring through this crime scene and saying, okay, I checked the whole thing.
That would work. But my point is, like, he's investigating the crime scene, and they have the testimony from the cops. You think he'd be like, hey, her power sounds a lot like Cisco's.
No. Yeah.
What was it the cop said? Like, she busted into the coffee shop, and the cop said, how did you get in here or something? While he's standing in front of the broken glass door. That just doesn't scream, hey, that line is not working for you.
Unless, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I didn't like the writing, but maybe it was just, what did you use to break this door?
And how about when I did like it's like, hey, the image right there is clear. But the thing is, like, when she points at the camera calling out thing, I'm like, what? Because that looked like something from literally a Saturday morning show, like, you.
I don't know.
Everybody's all like, what's going on? Okay, can we say, like in this episode, this is something that bugged me a lot. Iris.
Oh God, yes.
They're talking about trying to change the future. And she's acting like her death is set in stone for May, that she can do anything, that she's not going to die. No, because you're trying to change the future. So by you killing yourself and getting killed early, yes, you would change the future. Savitar would not kill you.
I know I've seen that in something where like the character's death was destined, so they couldn't die, like literally fate wouldn't let them. Well, I've seen variations of that. I swear there's something specific. But I can't think. But yeah, but I made notes. I'm like, okay, so apparently we're back to season 1, Iris, again.
Or, I mean, unless she's either thinking that, or maybe she's thinking, instead of dragging this out for months and, putting Barry through all this pain, if I die now, hey, I still die. But
I didn't get, no, I didn't, but yeah, but she's talking like when she steps up, it's not my time. It's
she thinks it's May. It's set in stone, yeah.
But she's acting like if they shot her, just nothing would happen. It's like no.
Well, it's like
no.
You already started changing the timeline with this Kid Flash stuff, so don't bet on Mace.
And again, I said this last week. There is nothing that says if they change things, they'll change it for the better.
We already know that. Thank you, Flashpoint.
I did like one thing Julian was like when he's like, yes, when Barry gave him the pep talk and he walks in, like, no, he needs strategy. It's like, yeah, that's true. Not every situation, you don't succeed just because you believe.
You mean when you look at Legos as a model and believe you're going to figure it out? I look at this Lego. I'll figure this out.
Why am I an astronaut?
Oh, yeah, what? Oh, that joke died as soon as they did it. Oh, my God. Well, why am I had them all. If I stay focused, it's like, nope, joke still doesn't work.
Does anyone else wonder why they haven't tried to think of ways that Savitar could return if he's supposed to come back and kill Iris?
Yeah.
That would be logical, but why did they need logical? They have to hope.
Oh, I have a theory on Savitar.
Okay. Lay it on us, Phil.
What if he's not even a speedster? Like, remember, like, only Barry and Jay could see him and they assumed it was because of their super speed? What if he's a projection of Abracadabra? Because remember, Wells had that thing, or HR had that thing that made, the rest of the world saw him as his partner.
Nice.
This is another visual illusion.
I like that
because,
a lot.
Because remember when they went back to look at the future again, HR was up on that rooftop?
Yes.
Why didn't he attack Savitar?
But then, okay, I like that. I'm working it. Then how did Jay get beat up by Savitar?
Right.
Well,
unless
it's future tech and alternate Earth tech.
I was gonna say, unless it's not like a complete illusion. Say it's like a hard light illusion. Like on the holodeck on Star Trek, or something, or maybe Savitar is real, but he's a creation of Zoom, Abracadabra, and he's controlling him.
Okay, I'm rolling with it.
Maybe
it's worthy.
It
makes it nice.
Hey, it looks like a robot. Maybe it is a robot.
At least it's not another evil speedster, so it's going somewhere.
Oh God!
Can I just say though, my favorite line of this episode was uttered by Joe and his semi-girlfriend, where they talk and they both laugh after saying fast and hard.
Oh no, but I actually, even though I didn't like the motivation for characters, like I did like when Iris is trying to distract Joe, and she makes him think she wants to have kids with Ferris.
Yeah, I know.
Gosh.
I was like, did you have to go there? You couldn't distract him with like, hey, Dad, I'm going to cook you dinner. What would you like to eat tonight?
She's like, a dog. Okay, good. Is he more of a dog or a cat? And Joe's like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like, I was thinking, oh my God.
The thing is, though, he does have a pet. He has a turtle. By the way, someone posted a thing online. They put the turtle in Flash clothes.
What if that isn't a turtle? What if that's a
not everything is something else.
What if it's a camera? Abracadabra's watching them.
I don't know.
I kind of thought it would be interesting if Caitlin was the one who ended up fighting Gypsy. Like, she just released the Killer Frost, and that's kind of what's so that Cisco didn't die. And that's why Killer Frost was at large.
Or
was
or all of them just fought her, but no. Who cares? Cisco can die. Caitlyn can't go evil.
I know, because Cisco's a man of science. Of science.
Science.
I was still waiting to see Wally's mannequin though, hanging up. I didn't see a second mannequin. I was a little like, what's going on, team? We didn't fix that problem yet.
No, they're busy playing with Legos.
But I did like Cisco's vibe suit though.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up, it was like the comics, and it looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy with his outfit.
What about their battle through the multiverse?
Yes, my
Okay,
little Supergirl crossover. That
Yes.
was awesome.
Do you think that's going to make an appearance in the show at all?
No, I don't think, because none of the main characters from the show were there. It was just who Miss Tessmacher saw them.
Yep. Well, think about what's neat is if you think about it, how we got all these mini little crossover hints this week with the Flash and Captain Singh appearing in Arrow. And then we had Miss Tessmacher appear in Flash. And then wasn't there something in? Oh yeah, where they were in CC Jitters and Legends, but I don't think they were like anybody popped up or anything. But still, it was just kind of a nice little hint, nice little nod, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too much, but just enough to make you chuckle.
Now you guys know a little bit more about DC than me. Was the last place anything?
Was that supposed to be
Mustafar?
Oh.
You mean you weren't waiting for Anakin Skywalker to come out screaming "I hate you"?
The only thing I could think of is it looks kind of like Apocalypse.
That's what I thought. That's the closest. That's what I thought they were trying to hint at.
I wonder which like is it going to be the movie's going to see who's going to have the guts to have Darkseid?
I would think.
I don't want this universe. I don't want Zack Snyder to do Darkseid either.
Yeah, I don't know. Supergirl. I would assume Supergirl.
Oh, okay. Them, yes, they would do him right. Yes, they can do Darkseid.
Like I've always theorized here, I think because you always have to have your big bad. I think they're going to do Darkseid in the movies, but I think Supergirl should do Mongol.
Oh, that would work
because they've mentioned World War. Can't talk and everything. So I think just on the big villain size, Mongol should be appearing on Supergirl because you know they're building Darkseid for the movies, and Darkseid's one of those characters I don't see them doing double of. But
hell, do that as the crossover next year. They're all on World.
Exactly. Let Phil and I direct it and write it.
Oh, that would actually work because Darkseid is someone that could totally threaten the multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
Or what's that guy? I don't know much about him. I understand he's pretty powerful. The Anti-Monitor.
Oh, that's too much. That would be like because in the recent comics, the Anti-Monitor killed Darkseid in the Darkseid War. That would be that would be so over people's heads. It would be ridiculous.
Yeah. Hey, Oliver, go kill the Anti-Monitor
with an arrow.
I remember in the first episode of Justice League Unlimited, they had Green Arrow destroy a giant nuclear monster. I'm like, yeah, that's believable.
Oh, yeah. And could we just talk about, was anyone else hoping that maybe, just maybe, Cisco would be fighting Gypsy and Golden Glider would show up and shoot her with her gun and be like, that's my man. just throwing that out there. Just because it seems like Cisco always likes the bad girls.
The funny they say bad girl, but isn't Gypsy a good guy?
Yeah, technically, yeah, she's law enforcement for Earth 19.
Yeah. And when she says the reasons, I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty legitimate.
Yeah, he broke the law. She's here,
She's here to enforce the law, taking back. She's like a Judge Dredd. She is the law.
I guess according to their morals, though, she says he's gonna die. So they're like, if you're gonna kill him or you're gonna take him to be killed, you're a bad guy.
Oh, and one thing I want to say about the fight, it's like she gets knocked down by Cisco in the big one-up moment that every thing has. I don't even have to say every superhero show. Everything has that moment. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I'm just watching that going, and I literally typed this. I'm like, why is the fight over?
Yeah. Maybe did he hit her with some extreme power that just weakened her and knocked her out, and he had her?
But she wasn't knocked out. She was completely able to. She could have lifted her hand up and went. Now, if they had done a big explosion move and you could say, oh, her powers got knocked out, fine. But she literally said, "This is a fight to the death."
Yeah,
not death.
what they should have did is he should have I don't know, maybe stopped her heart and then restarted it again. And said, "Okay, well, you died, so I win."
That's cool.
he saved her or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or in Star Lab, they could have made a huge explosion and Cisco just opened a portal and pulled like the fire from the explosion and opened a breach and had it circling her. Something like that. But yeah, he just caught her off balance and knocked her out and she gave up. Maybe she wanted to give up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she just wanted Cisco to go for it, take the lead.
The thing I'm worried about when they made the decision, like, oh, he'll have to stay here forever. I'm like, please, God, no.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, I can take HR for a little while. I'm hoping. One thing that I was hoping was maybe on the rooftop it wasn't HR, it was Harry,
right?
Disguised as HR because HR was locked up because he's Abracadabra, and he's working with Savitar, who he created himself. I'm going with Phil's theory here.
Actually, I just thought of a reason, a way I can help validate Phil's theory. The story of Savitar is that he was like the first speedster, right?
Yeah. That's
a good story. And who's good at thinking amazing sci-fi stories?
Yeah.
HR, supposedly. Well, he said, you wouldn't know a good story if it came up and bit you.
And so he created a Michael Bay Transformer for the big bad. Okay.
Okay. I can roll with that. Now, once again, there's another thing of this episode that annoys me. Yeah. It was when Cisco's talking about other people with that face, and he talks about the first Wells. Thawne. The first Wells was not Wells. It was Thawne.
Thank you.
Please, you've already established that you know that it wasn't really Harrison Wells. So please, call it who it is.
And even if like they had just thrown in, one word, if he would have said, the first Wells, the imposter Wells.
Yeah, I would have took that imposter Wells. That would have been fine. Just so he acknowledges that he knows that it's not really Wells.
And he didn't care about you people. Get it through your heads. He was just playing you.
Dang it, Cisco.
They act like he was a loving father figure. I mean, no.
Yeah,
let's meet. Hey, let's meet Cisco's.
He's like the first. He's like the first Wells. He's like the first Wells gave me. It's and he also killed you. Let's focus on that.
How about, let's see. Well, wait a minute. Hold on.
He killed Barry's mother.
Oh, yeah. Well, if we want to bring up that again.
But I'm just saying, why does Barry have loving memories of him? He killed his mother. Why does Cisco have loving memories of him? He killed Cisco. Why does Caitlin have loving memories of him? He opened the breach. Well, he made Barry open the breach.
He helped kill Ronnie.
Yes.
The man's just that good, I guess. He does no wrong. He's just that good. Now, let me ask, do you think because of how Wally got his abilities that he's actually faster? Like, I like that Julian did, like, the math chart of Barry's speed and everything. So, but I mean, he was using the tachyons to help charge him. Is he not doing that anymore? Because Harry's not here or something to help with, because he was getting faster. Because I mean, think of just how it seemed like he was a lot faster when he was fighting Zoom than he has been this season. And that's just, I don't know. It just seems like the man was able to make, his own time remnants quickly and punch in and out of time. And now it seems like he can't. Is that because he is not being charged by tachyons?
No, it's because of it's an offset of the Speed Force called bad writing. But one thing I'm thinking about, it's so odd. Like, Wally, you're going to save her. Oh, really? Because you guys haven't been dropping hint after hint after hint that Wally is faster than Barry.
Oh yeah, because even towards the beginning of this episode, I was rewatching it, and Danielle was watching it the first time. She goes, "Oh, watch, he's going to have Wally try to save Iris," and I was like, "Oh, you guessed the end of the episode."
Oh, what'd be interesting? If the whole image of the future, if we're all right saying, and it is abracadabra, imagine if the whole future image is an illusion.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking yesterday.
But he did take Vibe took him too.
What? Yeah, he talked Vibe to something. Well, we don't. Again, that's something he saw. But another thing is, why haven't they done that again? To keep, or shouldn't they keep checking?
Well, here's the other thing too. maybe they created those headlines because remember they read them back and HR was writing them. HR knows all those headlines, so maybe now he's like making sure those come true. Maybe without his help, those weren't the headlines originally.
Very confusing.
Mm-hmm. And I was also thinking, when Barry threw the Philosopher's Stone in the Speed Force, that's when he saw that future the first time. So when that comes to pass in May, shouldn't there be at least 2 Barrys there? Why can't one of them distract Savitar while the other one gets Iris?
I like where your head's at.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why he didn't do that the first time he was there, but. Time travel.
The one time he was there through a vibe, so he wasn't really there.
Yeah, not that time. The time when he threw the Philosopher's Stone into the Speed Force, I thought he was there that time. He actually did time travel that time.
And then, so what if he was like you're right?
That's what I'm saying.
If
so
he's
now
like,
Barry should be there,
Savitar.
and the Barry of May should be there. The one we see talking to Savitar. People don't rate time travel correctly.
Yeah, I'm a co-host of Legends Podcast. I can agree with that. I think we covered everything.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Iris being reckless, Gypsy. That's about it. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so should we get out of here?
I think we all wish our remnants were hosting this podcast.
All I know is I got the intro for next week. I figured it out.
Okay, well, good. It'll be your turn anyway. But I think that's the feeling I got after watching this episode. I was like, shouldn't there have been a little more to that? I don't know.
You sound so empty, Phil.
And is Gypsy coming back? Maybe Gypsy can help them with Savitar because she's not going home now.
No, she is going home.
No, I thought she said, she says, I can't go home empty-handed. They'll know I failed.
So she's lying and said she killed him.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she said, yeah.
And then HR was like, oh, man, I never get to go back. That's okay, I can just put on a different face.
I think that's what he wanted. Now, everyone on Earth 19 except for Gypsy thinks he's dead, and now he can do his sinister evil plots here on Earth 1.
I like it.
All right. So, our listening audience, if you would like to tell me how right I am about if you would like to tell us how right I am about Abracadabra, email us flasharrowpodcast@gmail.com. On Facebook, follow us at facebook.com/the Flashpoint Podcast and facebook.com/Legends of DC Pod. And on Twitter, follow us at Flashpoint_SMG and at Legends of DC Pod. And Tyler, where can people find you?
You can find me on Krypton Report here on Southgate Media, as well as you can find me at JTY Patrick. And pretty much anywhere online, Twitter, Facebook, Gmail. So yeah, let me know what you think.
Zachary Hare.
And me, of course, you can find me on Facebook on any of the shows I host on Southgate Media, and also Twitter, From Insanity.
And as always, you could email me, nightwingpdp@gmail.com. On Twitter, I am at nightwingpdp. And check out all the shows here on the Legends of DC podcast. Check out Support with Bat, and check out Nuff Said, where I'm on All New Monster Roundup, Super Connectivity, both with Charlie Esser, and the new Wade's World Deadpool podcast with Will Hellfire. So check all those out. Alright. I guess it's time to go. We failed to bring in that Earth 19 fugitive, so I guess we'll just lie and say he's dead. But come back next week, because we'll be back in a flash.